Hello, good evening, good morning. I don't know where you are in the world, but I'm William James, the host of the Book Geek. Rings of Power is a diabolical television show that really has no right to exist. Right now, the shill media are trying to save face, and the damage control is off the charts. They're also talking to the audience like a bunch of morons, as usual. The thing that I want to say is I'm seeing articles like, is the romance between Sauron and Galadriel, and I use the word romance loosely, canon? No, it's not. She's the only one who didn't trust him. She did not like him. She's also meant to be very happily married with several children. But let's not get into that horrible, disgusting situation. Now, other articles are saying, well, it wasn't that good, but we're giving it a chance, and now media is turning on it left, right, and centre, so I take it the Amazon check bounced. I also see a lot of channels on here that I won't name directly, and I wish people would stop posting links to these channels in my comments, because you will get blocked, because these channels are posting their own links and it's a bot. Money has changed hands. People want to say nice things because they kind of have to, but this whole situation is just hilarious. There was one article I saw that was about, is one of the characters related to Aragorn? Well, of course he is. It's literally stated. Have you not watched the movie? Have you not read the books? Do you not know how to use Google? It's just pathetic at this point. And now they're doing the whole thing of, well, we're going to do a more lore-accurate series. I don't know how you're going to do that. They've already changed big key events that are hilarious. For example, the Elven Rings being Galadriel's idea. They were not her idea. They were nothing to do with her. That changes a few things. Also, the fact that the Ringwraith beings kind of exist here, and they shouldn't do at this point. There is a lot going on that doesn't fit at all, and I don't know why they're doing this tacked on, he wants to bone Galadriel storyline, when that is not representative of anything Tolkien wrote, but at this point they don't care about what Tolkien wrote. And, by the way, there is an excuse I keep seeing in my comments. If you make this comment, I will delete it, because it's ridiculous. Amazon don't have all the rights to the actual story, so they're doing the best they can. If they had the rights, it would have been better. Or, well, it's so beautiful to look at, it's so cinematic. Okay. No, I don't think Amazon would have done it well if they had the rights to the Silmarillion. I don't. I think it would have been the same mess. Because none of these people involved in the show can see outside of themselves, but that's a whole different discussion as well. You're seeing a lot of the creatives and stuff like this behind this show are just nobodies with no talent. And you can be a nobody with talent, don't get me wrong, but $1 billion? Come on. Come on. The most well-known member of the cast is Lenny Henry? Seriously? And that's only to us Brits. I don't know why he's in here. There were no hobbits in the Second Age, in the Middle-earth. But this whole thing, it's hilarious, because they're desperately trying to save it. They're desperately trying to change the narrative, and mainstream media has lost control. And there is a really funny thing that I'm seeing, the Black Adam movie. I went to see that. I have a video about that in the works. Mainstream critics hate it, but the audience are loving it. It's funny how the mainstream critics who are giving it negative reviews aren't being called ists and phobes, and being called review bombers and negative trolls and right-wing trolls. Guys, do you really think we're that stupid now? We're sick of this narrative you're pushing, we're sick of this destruction of our culture you're pushing, and just stop it. Your audience is actually intelligent, and that's one of the big things with Tolkien readers. We're not talking about, I don't know, Susan who reviews YA on BookTube. We're talking real literary people, and real geeks, for want of a better word. There's a passion there that goes beyond a lot of things. I also keep seeing another excuse come up in my comments. Well, of course they had to write the book Tolkien never wrote, because he never wrote another piece of narrative fiction. Oh, I feel sorry for you if you leave that comment. The funny thing with that comment is that, why technically true, the story is there. You could piece together a story, and I feel like just watching the shill media now try and turning on this thing is hilarious. The Forbes articles written by that twat have been brilliant, and check must have bounced because the glowing reviews of the first 2 episodes. It's kind of, this is the thing, it all feels very disingenuous now. It all feels like they're just trying to save face and stop, this failure from failing. It's too expensive to fail, and I think Amazon will do everything they can so it doesn't fail. The problem is, they've already alienated half their audience by insulting us before the show even came out. You don't change someone's writing. Oh, and another thing, I saw a tweet by some idiot that was hilarious. Well, they have to admit that Peter Jackson wrote fan fiction with the Lord of the Rings movies. Oh, no. No. Okay, so what Peter Jackson did is a thing called adaptation. You take a story and adapt it for television, while keeping the bulk of it as close to the original source material as possible. Adaptation from book to screen is a big thing. It can go very well and it can go very wrong. They didn't adapt anything. Amazon have rewritten what they have the rights to anyway. There is a clear timeline of events. There is a clear motives. There is everything in the appendices that they could have made a series with. They could have been intelligent, but they're not. The creators behind the show are not intelligent. Like, this whole situation could have been avoided, and now they're so desperately trying to save face. I wonder what season 2 will bring, and I wonder how they're gonna try and pay for reviews this time around, because, in all honesty, I mean, we had the whole Daniel Green situation with The Wheel of Time, a man who loved The Wheel of Time books and still does, yet has been very critical of adaptations in the past of other materials, yet Amazon pay for him to go to the premiere of The Wheel of Time, hobnob with the cast, a nice flight and hotel in London. I just want to put this one out there, and then the videos were all positive. There was very little criticism, almost none in those videos, and I'm like, within the first 2 minutes of The Wheel of Time, they changed everything, and we should have taken Wheel of Time as a red flag for what they would have done with the Rings of Power and Lord of the Rings. What I don't understand is that Amazon have done some good stuff. Like, the Terminal List is brilliant. That's an absolutely brilliant show. And that was a huge success for them. Yet, they come back with this piece of crap that is all about a narrative message over storylines. If you dare criticize it, you're insulting. They insult you. The writer is blocking people. One of the writers is blocking people on Twitter, left, right, and centre. And I mean, she's actually a good writer. She works on Breaking Bad and stuff. But she obviously didn't understand Lord of the Rings and probably has no relationship with the work. I just wonder what they're going to do and how they're going to save this, because I don't think it's salvageable. I think they've gone too far. At this point, with the Rings of Power, they've fundamentally changed the history of Middle-earth, which means the Lord of the Rings can't happen. This is a thing. The Lord of the Rings now can't happen. I honestly believe by the time we get season 2, no one's going to care, and it's going to end up like Discovery. But watching these journalists fall over themselves, some trying to save face and say how brilliant it was, and, it's stunning and brave because strong woman with a CGI sword who had therapy after a fight scene. Seriously, how weak are you? Versus oh, we hate it, it's not very good. They're trying to save face with this whole situation. And I don't think they want to be the last rat on the sinking ship. But like I said with Black Adam, it's funny how they're not being labelled and attacked for it. Anyway, they're just my thoughts and feelings. I don't trust journalists as a rule, and I don't like mainstream media because it's become so polluted. Journalists don't really exist anymore, it's how much someone can pay them. And watching this kind of, how much will Amazon pay us to say nice things about season 2? Even the negative reviews were like 4.5 out of 5. There is a problem here. And I think Rings of Power is doomed to fail, and it has been doomed to fail the second they said, we're writing the book that Tolkien didn't. The second they said they were better than Tolkien in many ways. And the second they started insulting the fans. I think a lot of people would have at least given it a chance if they hadn't have insulted them, me included. And also, and I mean this in literal sense, don't insult your audience. You're not dealing with normal people here. A bunch of kids going to a Marvel movie on a Saturday afternoon. You're not dealing with that moviegoer. And it's sad that they are underestimating the audience and attacking the audience as well. So, yes, shield journalists, a bunch of morons, and God knows what else. More content coming in the next week.